Hey everybody, welcome back to Redbug Music. Whoa. As soon as I started recording, I got a visitor. Everybody, this is Millie. This is my awesome cat. Anyway, hey everybody, welcome back to Redbug Music. I'm very glad you could be back with me today. I'll tell you what, I've already talked about Duran Duran's Future Past in a past video, just talking about the release of the album and just being excited about it. But today what we're going to do is we're going to do a full-on album review, song by song, and I'm going to let you know what I've heard and what I think and all the good things there. So just stay with me and let's do this. Before we go on, if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do that. Ring the bell because I'm going to be putting out more videos. So if you like what you see, go ahead and subscribe. That's the best way you can support the channel. Well, the best way you can support the channel is actually watch the videos. But besides that, subscribing would be fantastic. So I appreciate that. But let's go over to. So in the past week, I have put out a few polls on YouTube. And let's go over here to the community section and take a look. Now, I just wanted to get a pulse as to what you people think about the album Future Past by Duran Duran. And this is what I got. Now, the most recent poll says, now that you've heard the album Future Past, where would you rank it among the 15 albums? And I gave the choices, the top 5, the middle 5, or the bottom 5. 4% of you, and it was 124 votes. 4% of you said the bottom 5. So that's a very small amount, which I'm kind of surprised that even that much said bottom 5. 26% of you said you would rank Future Past in the middle 5. So that would be like 6 through 10. And then 70% of you said you would actually rank Future Past in the top 5 best Duran Duran albums, which I may agree with. If it doesn't hit my top 5, it's definitely going to be high middle 5. And then also I had another poll that says, how many stars do you give Future Past? So this particular poll and the previous poll kind of tells me where Future Past should fall. 2% gave it 1 star. 2% gave it 2 stars. 9% gave it 3 stars. 32% gave it 4 stars, which is great. And 57% gave it 5 stars. Now, being that so many gave 32% of you gave it 4 stars, and 26% of you said middle 5, I'm going to say that this is probably going to fall as number 5 or number 6 without actually doing the math and listening to it and, compared to the other albums. That's just where my guess is going to be. And that's it for now. That's actually the only 2 polls that I put out. So I just wanted to get that out there. But let's go over this album. Let's talk about it, and let's see what we heard. But isn't this album great? I love it. I've heard this album. I mean, I've listened to this album over and over and over and over again. And every time I listen to it, I'm just so excited that this album exists now to be in my life, so I can just listen to it anytime I want to. It's great. So let's start out with Invisible. Invisible, now before I start, I'm only going to do a review on the core album. As you can see there, it's only 10 songs, so it's not going to include the extra songs that are on this album or that album or this streaming website or that streaming website. We're just going to do this core album. Anyway, let's start out with Invisible. Invisible, what a great way to start an album. Even though when I listen to Invisible, I definitely can see it falling anywhere in the album. Like it could be song number 2, song number 3, but I like it as song number 1. But if you want to hear my actual review of this album, I've already got a video doing that. So just look in the description down below. And I'll also put it right here as a card if you want to click on that. But I'd rather you just check it out down below. If you click on that, you're going to go to another video. But if you do go to the other video, come back. But I think Invisible is a very solid start to this album. And then Invisible goes to song number 2 called All of You. All of You, once this song started, I instantly thought, ooh, this is different. It's completely new textures and new sounds. This song is what got me excited about what this album was going to sound like. Simon's voice is so good. And I think the song could be a single. I think it definitely could be a single. And I could definitely see myself. I don't dance. I don't go dancing. But when I hear the song, I can imagine myself on the dance floor, just dancing to it and being just like a really, I don't know. It's just a very cool, nice, it's fantastic groove that I think is a very good song. So I like All of You. I like All of You. Anyway, and then it goes down to song number Give It All Up with Tove Lo. And it is Tove Lo. It's not Tove Lo. It's Tove Lo. Tove said so. And also you can find my review. I'll put that in the description down below. And I'll put the card up here so you can click on that if you want to see that description. I don't want to go through it again. I mentioned in my review that there was an abrupt start to this particular song, and I thought maybe what happened is song number 2, which is All of You, spilled into Give It All Up. And I was hoping that was going to be the case, but it actually wasn't. Give It All Up, or All of You, stops completely, and Give It All Up starts exactly where you hear it starting. So, it was nice to hope, but it didn't happen. However, the end of the song does transition perfectly into the next song, which is called Anniversary. Anniversary, again, I've already given a review on that, so you can check it out in the description down below, or here's the card for that if you want to listen to that review. And now that I have context, and now that I've heard the album, I definitely consider Anniversary one of my favorite songs on the album. I think it's very strong, and I think it's well placed sequencing wise. And every time it comes on, it's an exciting song. I really like it. So, and the fact that Give It All Up kind of meshes into Anniversary just makes it that much better. So I like Anniversary a lot. Now we're talking about song number 5, which is the album title, Future Past. This song is fantastic. I really like this. This is like, it reminds me of like a mid 80s slow dance ballad. That when you go to a high school dance, like you have Peter Cetera and heck, who else? I'm drawing a blank. But Simon's voice, even though this has a very 80s sound to it, it's an extremely 80s sound to it. Simon's voice brings it to the future. It brings it to the, not to the future, but to the present. It absolutely just makes it completely brand new. It's got this beautiful blend of the past and the future, which hence the name Future Past, which is pretty awesome. Maybe that's why they called the song that, and maybe that's why they called the album that. It's got a great chorus. It has fantastic harmonies, as I always expect. And it's just a great song which includes this brilliant guitar solo by Graham Coxon. And I've even seen comments on other videos where people were talking about there's no guitars. There are guitars. There's guitars. Actually, just a few minutes ago, I was playing one of the songs, just learning the solo, which was super simple, but it's just fun. So there are guitars. And Graham Coxon playing guitar, playing in this band for Duran Duran, I think he is a perfect fit. Because I know Duran Duran doesn't want a whole lot of guitar. I just know they don't. Even though in a recent interview, they were talking about Andy Taylor and how they feel like Andy Taylor and his guitar play, the way he played guitar, which horrified Nick Rhodes. He said they really think Andy Taylor had a lot to do with Duran Duran's early success in the United States, because they were able to use that Duran Duran sound and then kind of mesh in that rock sound that we like so much here in the United States, and that's why they were able to be so successful. So score 1 for Team Andy. So, but Graham Coxon, he's playing guitar on this album like he's been with the band all along. Like he just meshed so beautifully with them. So I kind of hope he stays. He won't, but I hope he does. All right, the next song, it's track number 6, and it's called Beautiful Lies. This is the first Giorgio song on the album, and it definitely doesn't disappoint. Now, you can tell it's Giorgio because it's pure disco. It's pure disco, and with all these different layers of keyboards, which gives it a very darkish like sound. The way the song is done, even though it's a dark song, it's like a dark song with a smile, if you know what I mean. And I enjoy the ramping up in the chorus. I like the way it just keeps building and building. You know, Simon's lyrics, his voice, the vocals just keep ramping up throughout the whole chorus. I really like that. Beautiful Lies is probably one of the songs that's not my absolute favorite, but I definitely like it on this album, and I'm not going to skip it whenever I hear it. Track number 7, Tonight United. Again, you can check this video, the review I did on this single, in the description down below, and I'll put it up here so you can check it out. But this is another Giorgio track, and this is where Giorgio asked John to do a bass fill during a section where he felt like the song needed something. So John picks up his bass and he just bow, and just did exactly what Giorgio asked, and everybody's mouths just whoa. I mean, he just floored everybody. So listen to this song, and I don't even have to tell you what section it is. Just listen to it and you'll hear it. If you don't know about it already, you'll know. If you know about it already, how cool is that? Just to be able to have somebody like Giorgio Moroder that's able to just give the perfect direction. And then you have, you know, these very, very talented musicians like John Taylor that can just be like, you mean like this? It's come on. I mean, that's why Duran Duran is here now, because of the talent level of these guys and their ability to take direction. I think is very important. And so, but I think it's very important that they find the right people to direct and to produce. And I think on this album, they absolutely did. The actual review of this song, you can check it out above and below in the description. So check those out. The eighth track on this album is my absolute favorite song on this entire album, including the expanded songs, the bonus songs, and that's called Wing. I find myself listening to Wing over and over and over and over again. This song definitely lives rent-free in my brain, and it's just going to be there for a long time. So I just got done talking for like 10 minutes and realized I didn't press the record button, so take 2. Let me find out where I was. Actually, I was still talking about Wing. Yeah, Wing is definitely my favorite song on the album. I absolutely love this. But doesn't this song sound like a James Bond song? When I heard it, I'm like, oh, this is so James Bond. And I was thinking, ooh, maybe I should put out another video talking about Duran Duran's like top 5 James Bond sounding songs. I mean, I can think of 3 or 4, including View to a Kill, because that's definitely a James Bond sounding song. But I think it'd be fun to try to come up with those. So if you have any ideas for what songs sound like James Bond, I know there's one on Liberty, and then you have this one, and then View to a Kill. Comment down below if you can think of songs that sound like James Bond. It should be in a James Bond soundtrack. That'd be fun to do. But I love this song. This is absolutely, like I said, my favorite song. Just these gorgeous melodies and these harmonies. I mean, this is the kind of music that I like hearing from Duran Duran. I expect it. I expect songs like this to be on every album. And if it's not, it's okay. But when it is, it's just like, there it is. And the song actually credits the guitar to Mark Ronson, not Graham Coxon, but I think Graham Coxon did help write the song. So I don't know if they're both playing guitars or if it's just Mark or what. I'm not exactly sure. But Simon's voice is just magnificent here. Every time a song comes on, I just have to sing with it. And just great. Wing, absolutely my favorite song on the album. What's your favorite song on the album? Comment down below. Let me know what that is. All right, track number 9 is called More Joy. It's with Chai. We know that one. I already did a review on this one. You can check it out down below, and I'll put it up here also. And don't forget, when you go to these cards, it's taking you to a different video, so you need to come back and watch this video and continue on. But now with the right context, listening to the album, I think More Joy is not exactly the right fit. Whenever I hear the song, I just think it just kind of stands out and kind of sets off to itself, and I just don't think it meshes. Maybe it could have a lot to do with where it is on the album. Maybe it's just placed wrong. I don't know, but it's definitely my least favorite. I kind of don't. I'm not gonna say I don't like it, because there's no songs on this album I don't like. But if I'm ever going to skip a song, it may be More Joy. If I do, when that happens, I'll let you know. Now, the last song, because there's only 10 on the main core album, the last song is called Falling, and this is the one that has Mike Garson. Mike Garson is a piano player that actually played with Duran Duran already in the 5 Year song, and also he played with David Bowie quite a bit. So a very nice sound, and it's very cool that they stopped the album with, they ended the album with Falling. I think it was the perfect way to do it. Again, it's another. Actually, I've got 5 Years stuck in my head now. Let me find it. I actually didn't make a note on this album, so let me listen to it real quick. Starting the album with the piano is so different. It's like they don't really have a lot of piano in Duran Duran songs. So I thought that was really nice. But it has this very nice slow intro that just finally ends up with Simon singing, and I like it a whole lot. It has that nice Nick Rhodes keyboards that sound like it could have been like on the first couple of albums, like the first album maybe. And then you have breathy Simon Le Bon start singing. I don't think he's had a song like this vocally on this entire album. So this is different for this album. And again, so many new textures and sounds and ideas, and we always say that Duran Duran likes to experiment, which, that may be a good description, but I think experimental is just their sound. That's what they do. They delve into anything and everything that comes into their mind and sounds good. And I think that's why I like Duran Duran so much, because they do what sounds good. Yeah, the chorus is so beautiful. It's the harmony in the chorus is perfect. Duran Duran, the contrast between the different harmonizing parts is beautifully Duran Duran. And then when the drum beat comes in, it's got that 80s sound again, like early 80s. It's fantastic. I like this a lot. I like this. This is one of my favorite songs on the album. Oh, it's just so airy and so kind of spooky. It's got a little bit of a spooky sound, but I think it's an echo. But Mike Garson, he just kind of goes off on this weird tangent on the piano, and it's just like this nice wrap up for the album, I think it was a great way to end the album. Falling is the perfect song to end this album with. Because of Mike Garson and because just the sound of the album, or the sound of the song alone, this was perfectly. And I never really can say that Duran Duran does a great job in their sequencing. I typically have a better idea for each of the albums on how to sequence the songs, or maybe there's particular songs that could have been taken out, or particular songs that, this song should have been down here and this song should have started the album and they should have never ended. This is a good sequenced album. I like Future Past a lot. And I think that's another reason why I believe it should be maybe in the top 5, because it's got very strong songs, very good songs. It's got a very good sound. It's nice. Again, this is the third time I've talked about textures, but it's got all these different textures, and it's got, so much light and so much darkness and just so much variety. And just all this newness and all this like old sound too that's blended together. Future Past being the title of this album is even perfect within itself. So it's a good album. It's a damn good album. And I think it's done pretty darn good on the charts too. So albums like this, when Duran Duran puts albums like this out, this is how the kids of today are going to hear about them, and then they're going to go back and start listening to their old stuff. And I think Duran Duran's they tend to be timeless. I can listen to their first album and back in 1981 and this album just the same. They're both really, really good. But anyway, that's it. That's my review of Future Past. Again, all the other songs that I've already reviewed as singles down below. Check them out. And that's it. So you can follow me on Instagram at Red Mug Music. You can follow me on Twitter at Red Mug Music also. And don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to click that bell. That's how you get the notifications. So whenever a new album comes, or not an album, I don't put albums out. I wish I did. Whenever a new video comes out, you'll be the first to find out. So comment below, share it with everybody that you know. Tell the world about this channel. We're growing. It's been a lot of fun, and I appreciate you guys doing this journey with me. I really do. Well, until next week, I'll see you later.